Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. Today I have a fold to share with you. It's called the never ending card because basically you just keep opening and opening and opening and then we're back to the beginning again. Now I know there's a lot of videos out there about the never ending card, but most of them seem to be a 6x6, which requires a special envelope, and here in the States it takes extra postage to send those. So the one I've got here actually will fit into a regular size envelope, and therefore we'll just take the normal postage. So I'm gonna start with two pieces of cardstock, and they're both quarter sheets, 5.5 by 4.25. And we're going to be using the paper, Stampin' Up's paper trimmer here, and this is probably the best one to use because we're going to be using 8ths and 16ths, and when you look along here, that's where you've got your 8ths and your 16ths. So I'm going to switch this round a minute so that I can actually see them without putting my head into screenshot. So I'm going to score on the long side here. This is the long side, and I'm going to score at 1 3/8 from each end. So here's my 1, 1, 2, there's my 3/8 there. Just make sure it's square, butted up to the to this guide here, and I'm just going to score at 1 3/8. Flip round, and again score at 1 3/8. There we go. So that's that one. Now the other piece I am going to score at 1 1/16 along this edge. So again we're going to find 1 1/16 here, flip it round, and 1 1/16. So 1 1/16 is basically 1 and 1 of the first tiny little, oh, I can't see it here. Here's 1, and then there's a bigger mark, and then it's the little one. So that's the 1 1/16 there. And then we're going to move the scoring blade out the way, and we're going to cut. Now, the piece that is scored this way is going to be cut this way, and it's basically just going to be cut in half. So it's 4 1/4, so I'm going to cut it at 2 1/8. So I'm going to do 2, so let's see, is that in shot? Yes, so 2 1/8. I'm going to set those aside, and then this one that was scored in this direction is going to be cut in half in this direction, and this is 5 1/2, and so we're going to cut at 2 3/4. And then those are those pieces, and then they're basically, that's the cutting and the scoring done. So if you like, this piece here really goes like that on the card, and these are these two pieces here, and then on the front these are these pieces that bend like that. Hoping that makes sense. So then we're just going to gently put in the folds to start with, like that, and then for these pieces they go backwards like that. All right, now what we're going to do is to get a pen, and I find the best way of doing this is to make a pen mark, and what we're going to do is to just mark where the adhesive needs to go. So on what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece on the bottom, because this is the back piece here and this is the front piece, and I'm just going to line my corners up, and I don't want my adhesive to go any higher than this fold. I'm just going to make a little mark there, and then I'm going to use this side, and I'm going to just line up a little bit. I don't want it to go above there. So that's that piece, and then this piece again, I'm just going to line up those pieces, just see where this comes, and then with this piece again, there's my mark. So basically I am going to be putting adhesive between this score line and that little mark there, and when it'll make more sense when I do assemble it. So the first thing what I prefer to do is use the liquid adhesive. It gives us some working time. So you can use the double-sided tear and tape, but snail adhesive will not be strong enough for this job. So I'm going to put adhesive here. So this is my area for adhesive, okay, because there's my score line and there's my little notch there, little mark, and then I'm just going to take these two pieces and line up the corners and just press them firmly like that, and I'm going to set that down, and I'm going to take these two pieces, and again my area for my adhesive is to the left of this score line and below that my little pencil mark, and that's not going to be shown once the card is all assembled. Then I'm going to take this piece and again just line up the corners and just press it firmly. And then these pieces are going to come together here. So again, adhesive to the right of my score line and below the notch. I'm just lining up my corners. Oh dear, fiddly. I find it easier to work in my fingers rather than to try and lay it down, so pardon me while I just line everything up. What I'm trying to make sure as well is that this is going to have a gap, or not so much a gap, but it needs to meet in the middle. And then my last little bit here is my last little piece of adhesive here. Now normally I would set this aside to just harden up for a while I perhaps did my stamping, and but I have already gone ahead and stamped all my embellishments for this card, because really the technique is about showing you how to make the actual card rather than stamping it up. All right, okie doke. So I'm just going to let that set for a few moments. So when it comes to embellishments, so I've used the designer series paper, and it escapes me what it's called at the moment, but it will be in my blog. There'll be a link below this video, and so there's 4 pieces that match here. Then we've got 2 pieces that match here. This piece of plain card here is writing your sentiment on. Then these 2 pieces come up, it's upside down, and there we have 2 more pieces, and then on the back there's 2 more pieces. So basically you need 4 pieces at the front, and as I say, the measurements will be on my blog. Then you need 2 lots of 2 that match. Then you've got your piece of Whisper White that's going to be for your message. So I'm going to start by attaching these 4 pieces here. And again, I'm using my liquid adhesive, and I'm going to just attach them. And the good thing about the liquid adhesive is it does mean that you can move them around and get them all lined up. I'm rushing a little bit here, you'll forgive me, because I don't want this video to last forever. All right, and then my other embellishments have come from the Rooted in Nature stamp set, and it's got the coordinating framelets. And so for this I cut out the tree. Now the tree just about fits, but you have to just trim the tiny little bit off the bottom. I then did the Be Strong, and I've just put that on and layered it onto one of the punch shapes. And I've got a leaf, and this is from the leaf trinkets, and that has gone in there like that. So those are my front pieces, and so I think this is going to be sufficiently set for me to now start opening. So I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to put in my folds like this and just hope that everything will work when it... Okay, so then I'm going to bring this piece up like that, and I'm going to put my folds in like that. This piece comes down, fold there like that. Then this is going to come like that, and this is going to come like that, and then like that, and we're back to the front again. Now sometimes you do find you have to work it a little bit just to get it to work, and just get used to doing the folds, but here we go like that. And then at this point I will put in my other pieces of paper like this, and then I'll open it up and I'll put my other pieces of paper in like this, and then I'll open this like this, and then on the back I've got my final 2 pieces. They go like this, and then I have made another embellishment, again using the same stamp set and the dies on the back here, and then inside here we have another embellishment which I've put in there. So as I say, it's not about stamping or decorating the card, it's basically about showing you how to make the never-ending card in an envelope, in a regular envelope size. So as I say, if you look below this video, you will see a link to my blog, and there'll be more information and pictures of the finished card there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I certainly appreciate you spending time with me today. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.